What's up? You guys, can you believe that it's been 3 months? We have been doing this for like 3 months now. Takira, I think you might have came in May, like maybe you didn't start with us in April, but that is crazy. I can't believe it. This is so cool. Come on in. These things have been getting bigger and bigger. And thank you guys to all my faithfuls who have been here, my ride or dies. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This was literally like a brainchild, like something I just thought of, and we are really doing it. We're really making it happen together. And none of this would be possible without you guys, of course. So thank you. Yeah, Takira, it's been 2 months. Honestly, I'm just like, it feels like you've been here the whole time. You're so active. Like, that's why I had to be reminded. But yeah, time is flying. Ariana, love having you here. Four. This is his first live training joining us. He just joined Inner Circle Insiders. We actually had a discovery call last week, and I was like, usually enrollment is, the first week of the month, but I let him in. I let him in. Don't worry, you were muted. So, but yeah, the vibe is a lot of people listen to this kind of like a podcast. I do ask for engagement though. We do talk and stuff in the chat, and then I will be like, okay, let me know. And that's your guys' cue to like unmute and talk. But four, if you want to introduce yourself to the group and say what's up, you're more than welcome to, my friend.
All right, hey, how y'all doing, everybody? My name is Four. I'm a poet, rapper, producer out of Southwest Florida, Manatee County to be exact. Like she said, she just let me in. Sorry to budge in on y'all, but I'm just trying to soak up the knowledge just like y'all are. Very introverted, but I'm open to community and things of that nature. So I'm trying to get out my shell, but I'm all ears.
Yes, welcome. Have you joined the Discord yet?
Yeah, I'm in there. I just didn't know which part to like introduce myself in. I never used Discord, so I didn't want to go in there and just mess stuff up. So I just was gonna sit tight.
You won't mess anything up. Just say what's up in the general chat. You can drop the links to like your Instagram or whatever socials you want us to follow you on in the collaborations chat. And then, yeah, a lot of the chats are me just like sending like links or resources. And then the other chats like are for what we're doing. So the tips and challenges chat is like really popping right now because we're doing a
Mhm.
30-day content challenge. And usually, even if we weren't doing a content challenge every week when we have these trainings, I'm always like, okay, drop, like one thing that you learned, whatever, in that chat. So that's the whole thing. Discord is not like a social media place. It's really just like a chatting app with like different chats, like little
Got you.
different sub chats.
I got you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna mute myself back now.
Okay, yes. Mute yourself. You can turn your camera off. I appreciate you stepping in and saying hi. But yes, you guys. Oh my gosh, how many of us do we have in here? It's popping in here today. What is going on? Not sure why I'm under iPhone again. Yes, I know it's you, Jazz. I know it's you. So I'm not as scared when I see iPhone join the chat. I don't know if I told you guys this, but like I have hosted a Zoom before where someone randomly came in and was like spamming us with like porn. And I was like, bruh, it's 30 of us in here. Like, how did you even find this link? Like, why are you here? So I'm very cautious about that's why we have the whole LUMA thing, why you guys RSVP outside of this being like a, ICI exclusive. It's also for me to like control who even has the Zoom link. So yeah, there's always a method for my madness. It's always like something has happened that inspires, the way that I do things. But yeah, that was definitely a crazy experience. But welcome, whether you are, live watching the replay. What's up, my replay fam? You're exactly where you need to be. So let me know for those of you who are taking our 30-day challenge, let me know what week you're on. In the chat, you can drop W1, W2, W3. Now this sounds like a tax conversation, but let me know where you are at in the challenge. I'm so proud of you guys. Some of you guys are on week 3, day 17, or now it's day 18. Crazy, literally doing multiple posts a day. I know we gonna get to the shout outs in a second, but I have been peeping y'all. Y'all are going crazy. Ariana's in week 1, Reem is in week 3. Yeah, I'm so freaking proud of you guys. If you haven't started, you know you can do this challenge at any time, but I do want to invite you to have a one-on-one session with me. You guys are Inner Circle insiders. You guys get $100 off of those mentorship sessions. Not everybody gets that. So, and I mean, that's like whenever you want it, but if you are struggling to get started and you don't know why, like let's link up so I can help you be unstuck. Because at the end of the day, I can give you all the game in the world, but if you don't know how to run it, if you don't know how to execute it, and you're hitting like a block that's preventing you from moving forward, then I would just love to help anyone who's stuck because that's why you guys are here. You guys are, a part of the community to get unstuck and to move forward. Moon W2, I'm kind of slacking, okay, but it did get me posting and my brain gears up for more content. Moon, why are you not sharing your posts in the tips and challenges chat, my friend? Drop the link to your post so that we can run over and support, okay? I didn't even know you're on week 2. I'm so proud of you. Are we kidding? Definitely, definitely drop it in the tips and challenges chat. Yes, I mean, today is my day 1, but I'm not sticking to the exact calendar suggestions. Look, I don't care if you do the exact calendar suggestions. I just want you to start showing up consistently so that you can start, you know, creating connections and being discovered by the people that you make music for. So it is okay for you to do your own thing. Some of y'all original posts are better than the ideas that I have anyways. Those ideas are so generic, bare bones. They're just to get you doing something if you don't have anything, right? But um shout out to my MVPs. We are going to celebrate those who have been showing up and showing out, even when life's lifing. So I want to take a moment. I also want some of you guys to vote for these. So this is going to be like a little interactive popularity contest going down. So if you are able to, you can run to Discord and check the tips and challenges chat. But let's vote for most consistent. So I know that Ariel's been super consistent. I know Takira's been super consistent. I know Kat has been super consistent. A lot of you guys, like I said, are on like day 18 of not just posting once a day, but posting like multiple times a day. So let me know. You guys vote for who you think has been the most consistent. Let me know in the chat. If we have the leaderboard in there already, so it kind of, that's kind of cheating and telling you guys who, but just wanted to see who you guys are thinking. Anybody? Let me know. The next one we can vote for is post frequency. I feel like, is that Takira who's posting the most? Is we vote in the chat. Go ahead and vote in the chat who you guys think. I think post frequency, definitely Takira. I think most consistent, it's like a toss up between I don't know if Ariel has been posting every day since day 1 and she's also working right now, so she's not able to be here and let us know. But yeah, it's tough. They're all very close, but I think maybe Takira. Yeah, Takira might be sweeping the MVPs. Okay, so most creative post format. Now, I feel like one of the most creative post formats that I've seen that was like super, super easy. Ariel discussed how Beyonce has done it again. And, she will be the last person to win Country Album of the Year because they are now splitting the category. And that post got like, let me see, I was just on her tick. I'm not gonna bring it up, but it got a lot of engagement. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that it got a lot of engagement. Kat and Reem are most creative. Ariel too. Yes, I see Takira on my FYP all the time. Listen, listen. Love it, love it. Most engaged in Discord, I definitely think that's Takira. She be posting like every time she posts, she's about to post it in the tips and challenges chat. Um, Best call to action or engagement strategy. I think I really loved Ariel's post where she was like, I'm not okay, but I will be. And she had like B-roll changing every 3 to 5 seconds. And she had like overlay text saying like, I made this song when, X, Y, and Z. So doing like storytelling with her, text. So that's a text hook, right? She is also doing a verbal hook saying, I'm not okay, but I will be. She has an audio hook because her song is talking about not being okay and it's from her most recent EP. So it's like, dang, girl, that is like so many different ways for people to not only be hooked, but also inviting them to engage and share their story as well. So yeah, just some honorable mentions. But yeah, if anyone inspired you this week, definitely at them in the chat, show some love. Because I am just loving watching you guys post, watching you guys do your thing, watching you show up consistent. Takira, that little hairstyle, your signature for this for this single, all over our timelines. I love it. I absolutely love it. But okay, enough of the MVP announcements and celebrations. Honey Gold Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us. I miss you. Welcome back to the chat. But let's get into the first teaching block. So, the first thing that I want to talk about today is content that connects. I know that we've had a whole like live stream titled Content That Connects, but I want to talk about how to actually do it. I want to talk about real engagement, not just views, but connection. Because if your content doesn't spark a relationship, what's it doing? What are we posting for? Like we just posting so that people can look at us and like tell us how cute we are and like hopefully listen to our music or whatever we're trying to get them to do, right? So what I want to talk about is how to write a caption that invites conversation. I know it's really trendy to have these like one sentence captions, and some people don't even use hashtags. I need y'all to not follow what other people do because you don't know the behind the scenes work it took for them to get to the point where they can post like that, right? So if you are following someone who already has a huge following, who is doing the bare minimum and being like, well, it works for them, yeah, Pooks, because they probably were posting, 3 times a day for 3 years over the pandemic, built a huge following, and now they can post whatever and their people eat it up, right? So it's like we do not want to copy what other people are doing. We want to do the strategic thing that is going to get us our intended and desired results. So, finding the right hashtags. Have you looked in the 30-day challenge guide to like the hashtag guide that I have? Does that help at all? Does that inspire at all? Because I have a whole hashtag guide. Once you get through all 4 weeks and you scroll to the bottom, I have a caption guide and a hashtag guide. So, Takira, let me know if you've looked at that and if that has helped you with hashtags at all. Um, but going back to this, so the kind of post where someone reads it and is like, damn, I needed that, or watches it and is like, damn, that's for real, or like that's the goal. Like that is our goal. That's how we want to connect with people. So, yes, I used R&B artists, but I'm like, maybe I should use more. Girl, yeah, there's a bunch of hashtags that are for R&B artists, like in the R&B artist lane. There's like a smooth 15 to 20 in the hashtag guide. Um, but I mean, hashtags aren't really as important as you having on-screen captions and everything, as well as titles for your videos, consistent, cohesive titles using the same like fonts and all of that. The reason why that is important is for SEO, search engine optimization. The algorithm does not know what your video is about if you do not have on-screen text that was generated in the native app, and if you do not have headers like headlines and titles that were generated in the native app as well. So a lot of times we mess up like making things look really cute in CapCut, and then we post it in TikTok and TikTok doesn't know what the video is about, so it can't like push it out. Hashtags do help provide some clarity, but you need to be like pick 5 to 7 hashtags and use those consistently. So sorry, this isn't what I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to address Takira's question because I don't want her to be posting a bunch and not getting the intended results that she wants. So I just wanted to address that real quick. But okay, all right, y'all. So like we said, I want us to talk about captions that create conversation that like will have people, walking away like, okay, damn, yeah, I needed that. Like that's it. That's the goal, right? So, one of the easiest places to start, that kind of feeling or that connection is just through your caption. A good caption can invite people into a conversation, or it should invite people into a conversation, not just narrate what's happening in the video. Like we have a headline and a title for that. Like, we don't need that in the caption. The caption should be us talking to people. So, try ending your caption with a question for your ideal audience to answer without overthinking, right? So it could be, I used to struggle to, or I used to, and you can insert a struggle story, and then now and you can insert a transformation. So I used to struggle to just, figure out what to post. Now I just post for myself, and I have been finding discovery like, what have you guys done when you don't know what to post about? Or can you share some tips when you are feeling stuck? Can you share some tips when you're uninspired? When maybe you need to change your social media diet and you don't know how. You don't know what you should be looking up. You don't know what kind of content you should be ingesting. So, for those of you who don't know what a social media diet is, that's not an original concept. I took that from Julia Bloom, but it's basically like, what is the content that you consume? Because all of these social media apps, specifically, I am talking about Instagram and TikTok, because that is what you guys are focusing on right now. TikTok is where people will discover you the quickest, the fastest. It's how you can boost your discovery. And then Instagram is where you can build connection. For a lot of us, that is the longest, app that we have had and have been most consistent on. So we have a community there. And as you pick up popularity on TikTok, they will follow you on Instagram if they want to connect and if they want to do more. So when you are trying to build connection in your caption, if you are trying to, invite people to have conversations, you have to think about what is something that you've overcome, recently. Because boom, that's a conversation starter. So, here are some prompts, and I want you guys to let me know. So tag someone who needs to hear this. That's a super common prompt. How would you handle this? That's a super easy question if you did like a personal storytelling type of post or something like that. And then finish the sentence. My music is for people who, like, that's such a good engagement because maybe you don't know who you make music for, and so you are having the audience define it themselves. And so my music is for people who, let them answer in the caption. So you're not just asking for comments, but you are creating connection points. That's really important as you continue to grow and as you start to post, because we can't treat people like, oh, I only get 200 views, I only get 300 views, all of that. We need to treat this like, dang, if you sold out a show for, a 300-person venue, a 200-person venue, how would you build connections with those people? How would you inspire them to, meet you at the merch table? Or how would you inspire them to download your music? You're going to do conversation starters or you're going to shout them out at the end of your show as well. So that, you know, posting on socials, it's social media marketing. We can't forget the marketing part. As much as artists don't like posting on socials, like that's the only reason we're doing it is to build a fan base, is to grow a connection. But we are marketing. So if you want people to connect with you, if you want people to respond and engage, you got to give them something to respond to. Are are these hooks in the pack? I mean, these are literally just like caption engagement prompts. They're so simple. Here, I'll drop them. Just copy and paste them from the chat. Hold on. You have to head out. Oh, Ariana, it was good seeing you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. But okay, drop a recent caption that you wrote or one that you're thinking about, and let's brainstorm a better comment prompt together. Is anybody willing to share? Anybody have a caption that it's like you posted it and you thought it could do better, or a caption for maybe something you haven't posted yet, and you're like, I want to think of a better way to do it? Let me know. Anybody? Anybody? I can give you an example. Not so much a caption, but text on a video. Okay. I have one that did okay. Okay. Come on, y'all. Share, share. Okay, so Honey Gold Jasmine, she said, not so much a caption, but text on a video, I said. Okay. Takira said, I did one where I said, this is a sign to do it scared, broke, or with no budget. And then Glamour Rose, I have one that did okay. All right, so Takira thinks it could be better. Honey Gold Jasmine said, hold on. Uh-oh. Honey Gold Jasmine said, I think I made an anthem for the introverts who say yes to the party and end up having a good time for real. That's good. I like that. What do you mean? Okay. Reem, wait, okay. Takira as came first. I did one where I said, this is the sign to do it scared, broke, or with no budget. But I think it could be better. Um, No, I mean, that's not bad. Because honestly, that's what holds a lot of artists back is saying, like, when I get a manager, when I get a team, when I get a label, when I get signed. And then they end up doing music for 10 or 15 years and never really releasing any music because they're always talking about when things are going to get perfect instead of what they can do scared, broke, and with no budget now. So I actually think that's really good, Takira. Reem said, I did text on a video that said POV, she cheated, but forgot you're an emotional artist that uses real life for inspiration. Period. Okay. POV, she cheated, and I made a mixtape about it. Or that would be a really good one for like a holy fucking airball, which is a trend going on. Where it's like, the do you make music? And it's like, oh, don't turn me into a diss track. Holy fucking airball or something. I don't know. That would be funny. Um, and then yeah, Honey Gold Jasmine. I think I made an anthem for the introverts who say yes to the party and end up having a good time for real. That's really good because again, that is very specific about who you make music for. If I'm an introvert who like is always like saying no to plans or hates going out. Like that's a real thing. That's actually how my husband is. He is one of those people who like genuinely always hates to like go to the party, but then when he ends up at the party, he's like, "I'm glad we went." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, you gave me all this shit trying to get you out the house and get dressed. I'm like, I'm glad you had a good time." But it be like that. Like if you're an introvert, nothing sounds better than just like staying in the house and doing nothing. Like that always sounds like a good time. But when you actually get up and go out, it's like, okay, this was fun. I like this, so that's a good one. I think the only way that you could build upon it is making it like a repeatable series. Like I think I made an anthem for, introverts who uh usually have to update their my anime list or something like before leaving home. Something really like nerdy and niche that is about your interest. So, Honey Gold Jasmine, I know that you watch anime, you play video games, you're a fairy. Yep, yep. So it's like you have just a lot of different like niche things where it could be like I make music for, and your following knows that about you and loves that about you. So I feel like that would be, if your posts are not breaking through to your following, that is a really good repeatable series and hook that you can do. And Glamour Rose said, this is for anyone who's ever been underestimated and still managed to show up like nobody else could. You don't need to prove it, you just need to remember what truth about you can't be taken even on your lowest day. Drop a comment. Wait, you don't need to prove it. You just need to remember. Okay, yeah. Y'all, listen. Grammar and punctuation, like I know that this is a common thing, so like the spaces are missing, so it's hard to like be like, wait, did I comprehend that the right way? But yes, what truth about you can't be taken away or can't be taken even on your lowest day? Drop a comment. Hmm. Or I would have a more clear call to action. Like, what's one thing you're proud of this week? Brag on yourself in the comments. Something like that. So it's because like what truth about you can't be taken away even on your lowest day? Cute. Like very like emotionally resonant, but we want something that again is like very, very quick to like think about and respond to, or just like I don't have to think about it that hard to be able to engage because then more people will do it. But I'm happy you got good responses on that. Happy you got it. And then Four said, I was going to do something like POV, the therapist friend finds an outlet. If it's with your song on there. Um, or it could be like POV. Hmm. You said the therapist friend finds its outlet. Because I'm trying to think of like the therapist friend finds his own way to heal or something like that. Um, because it's not just finding an outlet, but when you're the therapist friend, that means that you are usually like solving everyone else's problems and allowing a lot of people to dump on you. And then it's like, how do you process all of that yourself, And it's like, through the music and everything. I've been using Shutterstock and Adobe Stock to make visuals, and I was gonna put the song with it. Now, I know you are just starting out your page. I think that you need to start with introduction and storytelling content before you just jump to visually aesthetic content like promoting your music. Because I want you to connect with the people that you make music for. And if you don't know who that is yet, you should be posting content introducing yourself to discover that, and to discover like, okay, are the people who I make music for actually able, to find my content? And you're not going to know that until you've kind of posted consistently first. So I wouldn't come out the gate just doing super high lift, highly produced content, because it's not going to be pushed out well and the algorithm won't learn you. So if you are, starting from zero, or starting, kind of at the beginning, I would again start with introduction posts that introduce who you are, your artist name, why you're doing this. And if you don't know what to talk about, you can go into the Insiders Hub and go to April, where I talk about like your brand story and everything, and it'll walk you through like your why and all of that good stuff. Um, but a huge mistake that a lot of artists make is they make content that looks really good, that's promoting their music, and that's all that they post is them singing their songs, aesthetically look, great looking photos, and then aesthetically beautiful, curated videos. And then they're like, why am I only getting 300 views? It's because everybody is now doing that. And so that's not what is connecting as much as people being a normal person and showing up online that way, right? So it could be so simple. It could be, what's up? My name is Four. I make music for or I'm usually the therapist friend, and I just music is my therapeutic outlet. Swipe. If you like blah 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 and blah 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 blah, then swipe. You are going to like me. So that kind of stuff, like those are really good like introductory posts, and they're posts that are like repeatable and simple. Like all you need is 3 photos and to add some words on it, right? So um but all right, you guys, this was actually really really good. So that was number one, content that connects. I of course went over my time on that, but what else is new? I'm a yapper. So you don't need a brand new idea for every post. Like I said, some of these simple posts can be remixed and redone. And I'm gonna share that with you. So we have gone through that. If you were with us last month was really our content month. And I just feel like there is so much more that I want to teach you than I can with us having these like one weekly group training. So I feel like I kind of like overloaded you guys with too many concepts at once. Because content production is it's a lot. And I think that's what holds a lot of artists back, because they're really great at creating the music. Like that's hard enough already. Creating the music is enough creative stuff. So it's like creating content is not as easy. Showing up, talking to camera, that's not everybody's thing. Taking photos, some people are not really good at that. Like some of y'all don't even clean your camera off. I need y'all to I that's before anybody records another fucking video, please clean your cameras off. It's hot, it's humid, our faces are sticky, okay? Let's That's me. You're not the only one, okay? You're not the only one, okay? Not please. I'm triggered. Listen, wipes camera off after being called out. Listen, okay, I'm hot right now. Listen, I had to take the little shawl off. But y'all, that's step number one, okay? Before we remix anything. So let's talk about how to stretch out the content. Let's talk about how to remix what you already have, because that is going to help you be consistent as well. First and foremost, do y'all even know how to check out your most popular content on TikTok? A lot of people, this is free game. Free, well, none of it is free. You guys pay for a membership. This is what you pay for. But if you are on your TikTok, and you click over here where it's like the 3 lines and everything, you can change your view from latest to popular. Click on popular so that you can be like, okay, what is connecting the most? And you'll notice it's not all about views. There's some with more views that are not the most popular. It's about your views, your engagement. Like TikTok takes all of that into consideration when determining your popularity. And so the reason why I want you guys to do that is because I want you guys to know, like, out of the stuff that I have been posting, what is connecting? What is getting me the results that I want all of my yapping videos? Of course, because TikTok is a connection app. And so people are probably resonating with your rants. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about remixing. Because if the yapping videos are doing really well, how can we do some yaps about your music artist journey? How can we do some yaps about how multifaceted and creative you are, and how hard it is for you to try to like focus on promoting the thing that you want to be the most successful, which is your music career? That you guys are creatives. You're not alone. You Majority of y'all probably think like this. Like you're not type A organized kinds of guys and girlies, because then you probably wouldn't be as good at the creativity part, right? So you're not alone in this. You're not broken or anything like that. That if y'all knew how to do it all, I would not have a career. Right? I would not be needed. Like being an artist manager, being an artist development coach, like that's what got me into this is when I realized that it's like, oh, y'all just don't even think this way. Because I used to think that like, oh, everybody is capable of this. Some people are just lazier than others. That's not fucking true. Some people just don't even think this way. And so once I realized that, I was like, oh, let me start a company doing this because I be thinking like this for free. Like I could do a rollout in my sleep because I am that kind of person. I'm the kind of person who thinks like forward. I think of our end goal and I work backwards, right? Like you can tell me I got an album, and you're a brand new artist, I'm automatically going to be like, we need to start with singles. We need to break your album up into two EPs. We need to release about 3 to 4 singles before we release the first EP. We could start releasing the singles in spring, go throughout the summer, take about a month off in between each single, and then we can build anticipation and release the first part of your album or your EP in October. Then we can take some time. We can cool off during the holidays. We can pick back up top of the year in January and start promoting while the rest of the mainstream industry is asleep. And we can release part 2 of your project in February and have it be like a deluxe. Told like, listen, I like, and that's like, damn, I just gave y'all a release plan. Like, I mean, of course, it's not a full release plan, but look at how, like, the timeline, the strategy, I like, that's just how my brain works. Anyways, I don't even know how we got here. My bad. Um, but like that, like I am really like that was my job, you guys. When I was on artist teams and everything, my job was you tell me what you want to do and I'm gonna figure out how we fucking do it. I'm gonna figure out the plan to get there. So that's just how I think. But okay, we're talking about how to stretch content without burning out. So I showed you guys how to look at your most popular posts. Um, you have that view on TikTok. You do not have that view on Instagram, unfortunately. But TikTok is probably where you are posting more because a lot of you guys feel more comfortable on TikTok than you do on Instagram. Because again, Instagram, a lot of people know you, you feel judged, you don't feel as comfortable yapping or being yourself, or you have to keep up a curated aesthetic image that you have built for yourself on Instagram versus on TikTok, you're able to like do whatever the fuck you want and be yourself more, right? So let's talk remixing. What instead of starting from scratch every single day, if you have posted something great once and only 200 people saw it, it's not old. It's underviewed. So you just need to flip it and reframe it. And this is what you can do if you take one idea and you stretch it. Let's take a short form video saying something impactful because, again, a lot of you guys are more popular or more consistent on TikTok than any other platform. So let's say, we can take I'm going to just do my content. So my most popular video, if I were a music artist struggling to brand myself, here's exactly what I do. So I can take the points that I list off and I can turn that into a swipe post. Super easy. Or you know what? Before I even turn it into a swipe post, I can turn it into a thread. I can turn it into a thread. If you guys don't know what threads is, it's basically Instagram's version of Twitter. I don't use Twitter anymore because, you know, F that man and the click he claim. Listen, if I have to say anything else, it's not for you. But but I am on threads. So and what I will do is I will take the points that I, used or that I discussed in the video and I turn them into different, I make a thread of it and each of those are a different thread. Then once I am done with that, I can take these screenshots of each, thread post that I did, and I can post that as a swipe post. I can either put it into a little, cute aesthetic thing on Canva. There's so many Canva templates that are for tweets, that are for swipe posts, that are for text posts, right? So super easy to do that. And Voila, that's three different posts right there on three different platforms. I just took one thing that was a TikTok video, I turned it into a thread, which can be on any text-based app. You can do that on Facebook or anything like that as well. And then I repurposed it as a carousel on Instagram. And so it's like if you know that this content hit or if you wanted to do better, you can also remix the title of the post. You know, for me, a lot of posts that are some of my most popular posts were from last year. I have doubled my followers in the first 6 months of this year. Half of the people who follow me never saw that shit. And they're not like, so repost it, do a different headline on that. Like, we don't always have to reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? So, don't sleep on the power of interactive formats as well. So, also, maybe you're not able to post on your main thread every single day, baby. That is okay. Can you repost something, an old video of yours as a story? Can you add a Q&A box on your story or a this or that, kind of poll about the subject that you're talking about? Beverly Jean said, "Is it true that we should block friends or family that don't engage with our content? I heard it affects it somehow." Um, I mean, why wouldn't you just like unfollow them? I mean, I guess if you block them, then it forces them to unfollow you. Um, but yeah, I mean, if people don't engage, I don't know, you guys. I am a music art, like I'm an artist manager. I am not a social media manager, so I don't know all of the tips and tricks. You can try it out. I just feel like I feel like you are trying to grow a following, and it's always good to have some support than no support. It's always good to have some people that are looking at your stuff, and all of that that can support you. I would like have family and friend group chats or whatever where I would send stuff. Like I used to do that. Like on YouTube, if I posted a new video, I would be like, "Y'all, everybody go comment on my video." You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just need to call people out on never engaging with your stuff because it's kind of like dog, like it's looking bad for me. But that's how you can do organic like grassroots marketing. It like honestly, your friends and family should be your first supporters. So if they're not, that's a problem. But you also have their number, unlike the majority of the strangers that follow you that you cannot hit up. So it's like you can text it or hit them up directly, right? So you just have to turn off sync contacts. It limits viewership. Ooh, nice. Okay, for Moon said, I saw something about how TikTok pushes your content to friends and contacts first, and you can turn it off in settings. Yeah. I turned that setting off and it hurt my engagement incredibly, so I turned it back on. Listen, that's what I'm talking about. I turned it off and my views changed exponentially. I think it varies for everyone. It really does. So, Reem, I think you have a really strong community with the people like with your friends and family. So, that could be hitting it as opposed to four, where it's like four is just getting started and probably like is just being discovered by people who are engaging with the content that he is creating. So, yeah, different strokes for different folks. But I like the discussion and I like the feedback. But remember, engagement isn't, just people talking to you, it's you creating an invitation for them to be in your community. So, has anyone done a remix or repurposed content lately? Honestly, not gonna lie, I feel like turning it off hurt my engagement too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, friends and family, they actually know you. Sometimes you're just not being put on their page for them to engage. Sometimes people that I really do like I said, I will see something and it's like 4 days late and it was them promoting a show. Now I can't even go to the show because the show was 4 days ago. So that's why it's important for us to be consistent because you don't know when the algorithm is going to push your stuff out. But if you are taking time to promote pre-release, pre-show, if you are taking time to do things launch week, go live, direct engagement, and then you are taking time to do things post-release and continue to promote your single or to promote, be consistent, whatever you've got going on, um, until you are ready to move on to your next single or your next event or the next thing that you want to galvanize the support from your online community from. Is really good. I reposted my first music video. It did good with getting new people. Okay, Takira. I love Takira. How did you grow your following? You have over 18,000 followers on Instagram, but not as many on TikTok. So I'm curious as to like how you grew your following. Was there a time where you like, were posting a lot, or were you on a game show? Were you on a music show, something like that, where you had a bunch of followers or anything? Let me know. Put us on the game. But has anybody else remixed or repurposed content lately? No. Okay. But now, I mean, now you can be inspired. Now you actually have that popular view, so you can go back and see, like, okay, what has done really well and how can I remix it? So that is something that I would love for y'all to do. I know everyone's not doing the 30-day challenge, so that could be a little extra homework for those who aren't. No, but I'm going to. Yeah, Jazz, you're different. Didn't you just start your page from zero as well? So do you have an old page that you would refer to remix things? I did a lot of acting. I was on Wu-Tang, a game show, and some theater stuff. Oh, okay, cool. Come on. Come on. Acting. I had no clue. That's awesome. See, listen, when we be telling y'all to introduce yourself, this is the cool shit we need y'all to drop in the chat, okay? That's hella dope. I have more on my TikTok. I just made the IG. Okay, Jazz, that makes sense. That makes sense. I also choreographed music videos. Oh, see, we need the story times. We need these story times. Like, if I'm a new person who doesn't know this stuff about you, you should be talking about it because it's a part of your journey as an artist and it's a part of what has led you and inspired you to do music and everything. So, as long as the story times always lead back to your personal artist journey as a music artist, I would love to drop the stories, Pooks. Let us know. Look, you have done some really cool shit. Brag on your shit. Talk about it, okay? Because it is like everyone's journey is different, and we can all be inspired by different people's journey. So all right, you guys, I have saved some time at the end for live post reviews and for us to do some brainstorming. So I want to get into your posts. Who has a caption, a hook, or a draft that they want feedback on live? If not, I can use just a random example, but let me know. You guys, here, I will make it so that y'all can share your screens if you want to. We could do, I think we have 10 minutes, so we have time for like 2 to 3 people. If you guys want to share. Last week, I know we had Yusef share. Yusef isn't here today. We didn't have anyone share, but that's okay. I want to remind you feedback is fuel. You don't have to have it all figured out, but even half-baked ideas are welcome. If you aren't planning your stuff in advance, it's draining to like think of what you're going to post every day the day of. So that's why I just wanted to open it up, but no pressure if no one's ready to go live just yet. Like I said, I could show you a quick example and we could do a mini brainstorm together, okay? So all right, let's talk about it. So, an example post could be maybe a short 10 to 15-second video clip of it could be the artist sitting in their bedroom studio, headphones on, tweaking a vocal take, just like very raw, chill, intimate type vibe. So, that's a very good BTS post. Now the original caption, the basic version, might be like working on something new. Something that we could do to make it a little bit stronger could be maybe I wrote this after realizing I was ignoring every red flag because I didn't want to start over. Like that is very specific. That's very specific. And if we're watching Love Island right now, listen, we're not here to talk about Love Island. But between Huda and Jeremiah, the ignoring every red flag is very relevant. It's very on the top of our brains. It's very top of mind. So and that's very relatable. Sometimes we are sometimes we are love bombed and we really ignore every red flag because we, like I said, because you didn't want to start over. Listen, Huda is 2 weeks in. She had invested 10 days in that man and did not want to start over. I need to tap into Love Island. Yes, no, you really need to tap into Love Island. But the reason why that's relevant even in the real life is because a lot of times it could be like, dang, I have been with this man for 6 months. Like I have built him up brick by brick. Like I don't want to start over. Like let's just lock in. Or they're showing you from the beginning that they don't make you a priority. They don't value your love languages. They have communication issues, and it's like, but he's so fine though. It's like, girl, if you don't leave, like, so again, having a upgraded hook or on-screen text. David said, gotta head out, but thank you for this. Another week full of gems. You're welcome. I'm so happy to hear it because I'm like, I'm always hoping that you guys are picking something up that is valuable. So happy to hear it. Um, but yeah, another upgraded hook could be this is for the version of me who stayed too long, right? So as we are seeing the BTS and as we are hearing a little snippet, you're telling us what the song is about. You're creating engagement, you're creating conversation, and it sets a mood. We've got emotion, we've got backstory, and an idea of what the song's about without giving it all away. So that's really intriguing and that's a really great play to a really great way to invite and bring people in. And a caption for that post could be, you ever ignore your gut just because you didn't want to start from scratch again? That's what this song's about. It's still tough, but I wanted to share a little piece of what, or it's still a rough, or it's still a bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, I know how y'all are. Y'all don't want to share your art because it's not perfect yet. So just give them the forewarning that it's still rough. It's still a diamond in the rough, but you wanted to share a little piece while you're building it. Anyone else ever stay longer than they should have? Boom, and you don't have to say drop it in the comments, right? It's like, anyone else ever stay longer than they should have? Where else am I answering the question, sis? Like, like, and if you want, another thing too is like, bro, send your shit to your friends, like I said, and have them comment, have them engage. Like, again, your fan base, your first community should always be your friends and family. If you can't get them to, I always say, drop it in the comments. Let me pack it up. I mean, look, as long as you are asking questions, we are going to drop it in the comments. It's just that we we want to tell them to drop it in the comments in a different way, you know, than just telling them to do that. So, um in it, what makes this version better than the first one where I said you are just doing like working on something new with like the eyes and with the little headphones, what makes it stronger is that this version connects because it's specific, it's emotional, it's not just what you guys are doing, but it's the why behind, the music that you are creating. And we understand the story, we understand the feelings, and we're invited to share our own. A lot of times, y'all will just sing your lyrics in front of, and it's like, guys, like, tell us who you wrote this for, what, like, who is this song for? And it can't just be like, this is for anyone who's ever felt fed up. Like, baby, what? Fed up about what? Over what? And how is this song related to that? Like, it's gotta be a little bit more. It's gotta be a little bit more, a little stronger, a little specific, a little bit more, zhuzh on there. Cause it's like, babes, it's a little forgettable, just saying like working on something new. Um, that's it doesn't tell us much. We're not locked in, right? Um, and no, like I said, notice that last question where it's like anyone else ever stay longer than they should have. We got to have real convo starters. So just saying, what's your drop it in the comments. Like, "Hmm, we can do better. We can do better." So you're not just posting, you're building a community, right? So that's it for me, y'all. If anyone needs some challenge planning, just write one of these like 3 connection driven post ideas, ask any questions. If you need any remix ideas, let me know. If you need one engagement or call to action to try this week, let me know. Drop one of your connection post ideas in the chat so that we can hype you up and help. But if you haven't even thought about it, I want you guys to think about what you're posting next week. Do not think about what you're posting the week of, because that is how you get in a burnt out trap. Okay, I'm always warning you guys against that. And if you haven't been already, please track your progress in the social media growth tracker. A lot of times we are getting like more followers and engagement than we realize, and we just don't know because we're not tracking it. So if you're new and if you have not gone to the G Drive yet to see all of the different little tools and documents or whatever, hit me up, DM me on Discord. I've got you. Um, and yeah, that's it, you guys. I'm gonna try to go live with New Music Fridays. If any of you guys have any new music that you want me to play, New Music Fridays is going to be our live stream that I'm gonna start doing on YouTube. I don't know if I told y'all this, but your girl has finally hit 1K subbies on YouTube. So excited about that. And so yeah, my New Music Fridays is gonna be a live stream that I'm doing just on YouTube. And that's where I want to have fun with you guys. On Wednesdays, this is like the TED Talk, the training. I'm giving you tips, blah, blah, blah. But on Fridays, it's going to be in the evening. It's going to be 5 p.m. PT. It's going to be on YouTube Live. And I want to play your guys' music. I want to, discuss any new releases that have come out, talk about the tea of the week, whether it's, Timbaland having AI artists, Beyonce inspiring a whole new genre category or category split in the Grammys, or even Sabrina Carpenter with her, man's best friend getting dragged by her hair, sparking, like, so that's what I want New Music Fridays to be. I want it to be the tea, the conversation, the music, and just a lot more chill. So creating that for any of our ICI members that aren't able to join in the middle of the week on a random Wednesday at 12 p.m. PT. So, yes, you guys, if you want me to play your music, please let me know. You can drop it in the peer feedback chat and say, Jazz, play this on New Music Fridays. I know I'm already about to be slapping Ariel's new EP on there. So anybody else who would like to have me spin their music, just let me know. And hopefully I'll see you guys there on Friday. But I'll send you guys like a little reminder thing in our close friends on Instagram. And if you're not in my close friends on Instagram, please let me know so I can follow you, okay? But I think majority of you guys are, because that's how y'all even get the links to RSVP here. Yes, you're welcome, Kat. All right, y'all. That's it for me. Thank you guys all so much. And I will see you next week, if not this Friday, if you're able to join us for New Music Friday, okay? Until next time, stay tuned with Jazz. Bye.